God couldn't be real, could he? Let's talk about it. All right, so God couldn't possibly be real, right? Look at the genocide, look at the rapings, look at the total tragedies of the world, all these crazy natural disasters that are happening and everything. Why in the world, if God was love, why would he allow these things to happen? And this is the one determination that when there's an argument whether there is or there is not a God, what is it? Suffering. That's the one thing we go to. We automatically go to suffering as the out that there is no God. Okay. Well, we go to suffering because that's where the pain is. That's where all of the horrible things happen, and we sit there and we are remorseful, or we are empathetic or sympathetic to what's going on. We look at these things and we go, my gosh, this shouldn't happen. This is injustice. So there is no God because he allows it to happen. I need to ask a question. Where does love come from? Where does it come from? Well, it doesn't come from this chemical reaction. That's a very popular atheist view that it's a chemical reaction in your brain. Well, where does the love for my children come from? The protection of my seed, my children. Where does that love come from? Not wanting them to go through terrible things, or not wanting to face physical pain or be sick or do any of those things. Teaching them how to live this life, this very difficult life. Where does that love come from? At some point, there is got to be some type of starting point where we say that these things are good, these things are bad. Well, where does that come from? Where does morals come from? Where do all those things derive from? How did we say that murder was bad, that genocide's bad, that rape is bad? Where did it come from? Well, it's just an automatic thing. No. Think. Use your brain. This is the argument of atheists. I love you guys, but this is the argument. There couldn't possibly be a God because these things happen. You know, one thing that's very, very important to me, and if anybody is a friend with me on Facebook, you will always see that freedom is a big deal to me. But freedom is a big deal to God as well. We have the ability, and at any point in time, to make the decision, right or wrong, to do the right thing, to do the wrong thing. It's our choice to do such a thing. Now, if we're here by chance, that this automatically happened, that we're just here, we just happen to be intelligent, I happen to be speaking through out of mouth, or out of mouth, I can listen with my ears that have craftily come together through time. That is the most outlandish thing I've ever heard. I've gone over, I've heard everything. I spend more of my time in atheist forums and videos and everything, and I just listen to what they have to say. And most of all of those things is what you call crazy in my brain, but I love how intelligent and how great the questions are. They're just spectacular. I think it's crazy just because both sides have this view, and one says the other one's crazy and everything else. But you have to ask the question, when does science answer love? Where does it come from? It comes from an amazing God. Period. Allow yourself to think about that for a second. Now, a lot of you have gotten a really, really twisted view of God because of his followers. They're human beings. They're bad people. There's good people. There's whatever. All these people believe in God, so who's got it right? Right? Well, that's why the gospel was made completely simple. Love me as hard as you can, and love your neighbor. Two most important commandments. Very, very important. those and everything else kind of just takes care of itself after those things. I have learned in my lifetime more than I'm a father to 2 boys, more than I stand here today, more than the greatest moments of my life and the greatest accomplishments, no better song that I've ever made, any of those things, nothing compares to the very fact that I know that God exists. He is so real to me. What he does for me when he meets me in those moments that no one, not a single thing, not a science explanation, not anything could tell me or convince me that he doesn't exist. Think deeper. Allow yourself to understand that at some point, morals were created from how? How did we, if we're just here by chance, all of a sudden come into the realization that this is wrong and this is right? How is it that we know that love is right? In order for all of us to be able to exist together, to have harmony, understand this, that on the Christian side, God's people, and the atheist people, or whatever it is, understand this, on every side, there are good decisions and bad decisions. But we go way far away from what is right. Now, all of the complications that you end up enduring if you're one that kind of looks at Christians and kind of just like, oh gosh, these people are disgusting. Man, I'm right there with you. But remember this, there are good ones and there are bad ones, just like everything else in life. But that doesn't mean that the good people, first off, we try so stinking hard. I call myself a good person only because I take so very seriously love. Very seriously love. I've, made it my goal in life to not be a threat to anyone. And I know a lot of times I end up doing these rants and I sound like I'm totally like pissed off and crazy. But you know what? I'm not. I love people. I love atheists. I love their questions. They're brilliant, brilliant people. And most of the time they have the kindest hearts and are so willing to take care of people, so willing to be there for friends. The very thing that the gospel tells us to do. I applaud you guys. I applaud you guys like crazy because you do such a thing. So what if I think some of the things that you think are existing and the reason why we're here is crazy? Who cares? I don't care. That's not really it. My deal is I have to love you. I don't have to, I do. You guys are awesome. And I really think that we can actually get to the place where we can get along and we can have these discussions and wonder why we want to have this common thing called love. It's very, very important. It's what's going to heal what's going on in the world right now. The world is crazy. So many different sides, so many different things. These elections are crazy. You cannot, all of a sudden, you have a lifetime friend and they're gone. They're gone because of who they're supporting. Man, that's not the direction that we go. We have a lot of things to sort out. We have a lot of things around the world that needs to be sorted out. But why can't we have that common belief, one belief, that love is the answer to all of this? You've had a hard life. You're questioning whether there is a true God. Does he exist? All these tragedies. Is he real? Good question. Stay on the question. Don't deviate from it. Wonder why. Wonder why you face these things. Wonder why you hit the pillow and your brain just keeps going and going and going. Why? We have the ability to make the right decision and the wrong decision. Make the right decision. I have always found in my life that love always is going to meet my Creator. The guy that loves me, that he's proven himself to me.